Yo, yo YouTube, what's up? Une petite seconde, je me trouve à la télé. Hop là, hop là. Ok, il fait super chaud dehors, c'est horrible. Voilà, hop, j'ai ma bouteille d'eau.
White men. I remember she took us out
J'étais
to
en train de regarder une vidéo avant de venir. Du coup, on va regarder, il reste 5 minutes.
Coney Island one time, and she was performing. There was a dude that died. I think he fell down the elevator shaft. But this is when I was real young, so she was like my biggest influence, right? And then after that, it came teachers that I had, Miss Gerson and Miss Brittenham. Like we were doing the choir thing. Like I was like singing for old folks. Like and I feel like music does a certain thing to people, and that was like influential to me. After that, it was the Nas's, it was the Wu Tangs, it was AZ, it was damn a lot of people, Biggies, it was the Pox, like
Yeah,
like I said, it
c'est un paquet de BN à la fraise, je m'attendais pas à cela.
was a number of people that influenced me. Right, DOS effects, like these are the things we was listening to when I was younger.
One thing that struck me about you that in the cam component of you is you said you was listening to Eminem,
Yes.
and like it wasn't like there was a taboo to listen to Eminem at a certain point, and it was like admitting you listen to Eminem, admitting you think he's dope. Not only that you listen to him because he's pop, but admitting that you think he's talented, he's a great lyricist. How did you kind of gravitate towards Eminem naturally, not just because 50 Cent was with him or anything like that?
No, I used to watch MTV in the morning before I went to school, and the first song I heard from was the High. My name is, and I listened with a critical ear because I'm from that era of hip hop, like where you had to be able to rap, and I didn't just look at him as like some goofy white boy. I listened to his music, and I was like, oh, he actually is talented. And I think originally I had the bootleg, because back in the days you used to get the bootleg to see if this person was worthy enough for you to buy their album. So I think I had the $5 bootleg, and I was bumping it, and I was like, nah, I gotta go get this album. Yeah, yeah, he was really nice. Like I think like one of the songs that made me really gravitate for him. Like he said, I calmed down now. I was heavy once in the drugs. I could walk around straight for 2 months with a buzz. That shit killed. I was like, yo, that shit and the shit with him and Royce the 5'9", I was like, oh nah, son is really, really talented. So I didn't look at it as yo, it was goofy to listen to him. And I never followed trends anyway. Like, I move the crowd don't move me.
That's fire, man. Yeah, it's those first few albums of Eminem, man. He was like he figured out the Matrix, man, and that whole 50 Cent G Unit, even the way they was marketing 50, like the fact that he was like some like bionic soldier, like Universal Soldier, that was great.
Yeah.
One thing because you mentioned the South, was it kind of because I think one of the things that was cool about 50 was how he did the Southern influence.
Yeah.
Did that like rub Queens the wrong way, or was it like, nah, that's fire the way he did it?
It didn't rub me the wrong way. I mean, like I said, I'm from a time where we had love for everybody. Outkast was out, Trick Daddy, like Thug Holiday is one of my favorite joints. I never had a problem with the South. Like, I don't know who caused this like cultural divide, but it came a point where New York and the South was just like, or New York was feeling some sort of way because the South got it now. It was just like the South, and the South was feeling some sort of way because they felt like New Yorkers was feeling some sort of way. But I never was on that at all. I got people
Yo, bonjour dans le chat.
all the way from New York to Florida. So,
Yeah, yeah. Was Nelly a big influence on like what we? Because some people say Nelly was a big influence on.
Was he a big influence?
On the especially that like 50 look? Like people say that.
Oh no, nah,
because Nelly came out before.
I can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say he was an influence. I do know this though. It was talks. I was around talks of Fifth saying one of his gimmicks when he came back out was going to be to punch Nelly in the face. You know, he wanted to punch Nelly in the face because that it was controversial, and he had just sold 10 million records. So that was one of the things that he actually wanted to do.
Like really, like punch, literally.
Punch Nelly in the face. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. You know,
That is
that was a
hilarious.
gimmick thing
Yeah.
that he was going to do.
The rapper who punched Nelly in the face.
Oh, lui, il me régale.
Une vie active,
Il dit la même chose que je dis. Ces trucs-là, je l'ai dit bien avant de voir la vidéo, je l'ai jamais vu cette vidéo. Sur ma mère qu'il a les mêmes avis que moi. Je suis complètement d'accord avec lui.
demandez conseil à votre vétérinaire.
So I want to ask about the last two Super Bowls. So let's talk about the first one because I think they were. Jay-Z has control of the Super Bowl. People say
Right.
he doesn't. That he just, there's a board that controls him.
Right, it's Jay-Z.
So the first one was the Kendrick Super Bowl.
Right.
Many felt like he was standing on business, not capitulating to corporate needs, right? He didn't perform any of the songs from his previous catalog, only did GNX. What were your thoughts about that Super Bowl?
I thought it was weird. See, I didn't know what kind of statement he thought he was making and all of this type of shit. I felt like it was too much surrounded around Drake. You know? I feel like if you do the Super Bowl, that's when it's supposed to be a celebration of you and all the shit that got you there. You're supposed to do your hits, not just your latest, whatever the you got going on type of shit. And that's what that seemed like to me. The A minor
J'ai
chain.
dit la même
and,
chose.
You know, just all the little.
J'ai dit la même chose. Je l'ai jamais vu cette vidéo, je le connais pas, il me connaît pas. Sur ma mère, j'ai dit la même chose. T'aurais ramené n'importe quel gros artiste pour faire le Super Bowl, même s'il aurait eu un bif au milieu, il aurait pas fait ça. Il aurait fait ses musiques et ses trucs. Mais lui, il a fait son Super Bowl et il a dédié à Drake. Pas sûr.
Shenanigans he was going on. Now you say that he was not going to fold to corporate by not doing it. I mean, to me, that was a stupid hill to die on because at the end of the day, it's about your fans. Like, your fans wanted to see you do those songs too. They didn't want to just see, Serena Williams come out and crip walk. Oh shit, he brought out Drake's. Who gives a fuck? Like, I want to hear the shit that, you know what I mean?
Exactement. Surtout comment ses fans et tout, ils le considèrent et tout. Pour moi, ça n'avait aucun sens du début à la fin. Pour moi, soit c'est des faux bifs et c'est du business et du truc, mais c'est tout. Mais il s'est entendu avec Drake pour faire ça, il a pris un billet, j'en sais rien. Mais si t'as fait ça à mode de toi-même, je vois pas l'intérêt perso.
Yeah.
That you're known for. Because, first of all, I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan either. Like, he's dope. But I feel like, if he came out in my era, he'd have just been Kendrick Lamar. He wouldn't have been like top 3 rappers in the world type of shit. Like, but you know.
Do you think his legacy is too anchored in Drake now after the battle? Like it's like they'll always be linked like Magic and Bird or something.
Well, not necessarily. You know why? Because we live in a society that's very forgetful. You know, 2 weeks after something that lasted longer than 2 weeks, but usually it's a 2 week time span of
Exactement.
some shit to be hot before it cools down and people even can forget that the shit happened. So I don't know if we're living in a time, you know, anymore like a Magic and Bird where things are inextricably linked. I think not just from the battle, but Drake, Kendrick, and Cole are linked right now, whether they like it or not, just because they're known as the top rappers. Like the top, they are the big three. Like, you know what I mean? And that's sad because there's not much out there under them.
Yeah, it does feel like top heavy.
Yeah.
Whereas like, there'd be a great rapper and he'd be like 15th on the list back in the day. And yeah. It'd be like Redman is one of like the
Right, that's
next
what I'm
tier.
saying. Like
Redman.
Kendrick, he could have been a dope rapper back then, but he wouldn't have been like number one. There'd have been so many other people before him. You know why? Because also what mattered in my day, that matters a little less, that matters much less now, is the type of person that you were. You see, like you could rap your ass off, but if you didn't have that certain charisma, it's not happening for you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not happening for you. Common, he used to rap his ass off, but he wasn't as charismatic as some of these other rappers out here. And I think in his rap career, that made him peak at a certain place. You know what I mean? Whereas you have rappers with less talent, and this is something that's been going into the new, where now they're doing the opposite. So now it's less talent, more charisma. In my day, you needed a better balance. You see what I'm saying? It couldn't be all charisma, couldn't be all talent either, though. You know what I mean? You needed a nice balance of both in order to fly in my generation.
J'aime bien son avis. J'ai à peu près le même avis que lui. Et c'est pas la première fois. What? C'est qui lui? Ian Dunlop says beef with Wall Street rapper consumer TVG. What? Et je vais la regarder la vidéo parce que je vois pas que c'est un bon Wall Street rapper. Les botch. T'en vas voir, il dit quoi?
La pause déjeuner.
On va voir, il dit quoi dans la vidéo.
I will say, when I did my calculation for what I thought the AdSense could be, I'm like, I'm not mad at you. I can't be mad at you.
Why is it y'all ended up beefing? Like, what was?
There was no beef. It was a
Whatever y'all did.
disagreement. There was a clash of personality and maybe egos at a time. But the interesting part, because this gets blocked, I know you hear this all the time too, like, well, other races don't do this. And I'm like, well, Bill Ackman had a fucking fight on CNBC about the value of Herbalife and if it was a quality company. Like, it happens in every genre of business, but a lot of times with men, when you combine money, ego, Q score, fame, there's going to be a clash, especially if things have not been seen eye to eye. Because normally the person who was attacked tries to attack even harder, and it creates a cycle. So that's why I asked even with you and Savon, like, I remember when you were shooting, then you would say something back. So it becomes a never-ending cycle. That's why a lot of times in a lot of that drama, I just try and be quiet about
He
it.
wasn't quiet though. There's a time where you gotta talk about it. I think you said pay me back my loan. You said
But even with the instance, because I talked to when Chuck called me maybe 3 weeks ago. He knew I wasn't talking about him.
okay.
And whether he says that publicly or not, it don't matter to me. Because
Okay,
my
so-
character is to not. If I know, everyone on that show knows who I was saying pay my money back to. It wasn't him.
Okay. Okay.
And there's no money in the drama. That's the other part. Like, maybe on the AdSense side, it may be good. But for us, we were just talking about this on a pod. Like, in order to elevate to certain spaces, I will say in 2020, us not getting along, it cost us a deal on daytime TV.
What type of deal? Like,
There's no money, a TV deal.
Mm.
TV deal. There's no money in drama. And that's why I always say anybody who's engaging in long form drama is usually because the business is not right. Or they're personally not happy with themselves. So
guess I gotta go to therapy. All right.
have you been to therapy?
Oh, I think all of it is like so niche. So The Sopranos, I was like, I need a therapist. Yeah.
For what reason?
Yeah, just a lot what you think I'm like the narcissist that used therapy?
No, I was just asking. I'm asking a
No, I
question.
think it's good to have somebody to talk to. I think it's good. It's not a bad thing. Are you in therapy or anything?
It's a very good thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been pro therapy for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm pro coaching, pro therapy, pro consulting.
Pro all that consulting. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it did. It was. I don't think it benefits y'all much to beef. I don't think.
It's a net negative.
Yeah. Like Aristotle going back and forth with y'all, I felt like it was much. It wasn't really much there, and I think the reason is like Earn Your Leisure. You guys, the pioneers of this space, usually take the position that y'all were the first in the field. Do you think that's the case?
That's I'll let the people decide that. I really don't give a fuck about that, to be honest. Because you can make the argument, if we're going to talk purely investing in stocks, Bonawyn was the first person who was on CNBC. That was in 2009. That's why I have reverence for him. So I think when history is written, I don't think it can be denied the impact that I've had in the stock market and how many people began investing because of me, and then how many people have learned business strategies from their show. I think that's undeniable. But
Well, I said this on my channel. I feel like you guys should have done like an investment challenge. I think that would have been dope. Like $10,000, see who earns the most. That would
yeah,
be fire.
it would be a great idea. But then if you don't like me, I don't want to do anything in collaboration at that point. It's like, for what?
So Aristotle and Wall Street Driver don't like you? I thought that would have been cool.
It would have been cool. And I'm not saying that they don't like me, but if the consideration is, for me, if a person doesn't like me 1%, there's no reason to collab. Like I said, I don't have an issue with either one. Trap just called me 3 weeks ago. We talked. But I'm not into the messy drama. Like, a lot of times people do that stuff for certain reasons, and I'm not, given where we are from, and the other part is like the blessings that we've been afforded, especially for me through the market and what my family has sacrificed. I didn't learn all this shit and get this aptitude for investing to then have public discourse and drama with people. It's
Yeah.
like, for what?
Especially if you get money, I doubt there's drama to be had, right?
It shouldn't be,
Yeah.
but that goes back to the male fragility, the ego, wanting to be seen in a certain light, to be respected. Because at the end of the day, there's an admiration that is equal across the board. And oftentimes, like if a person feels rejected, they may not know how to handle that.
Yeah, I assume at some point there'll be some new player in the field that just starts taking shots at all of y'all, but
And bless them too.
like the new cartel.
But even with that, it's like, what's the point of taking shots if you can put your money into the market?
Clicks, retention, views, those types
It's
of
not
things.
worth that much money.
You know?
But like, okay, the highest viewed video that if it's against me would be what?
100,000 maybe?
That's not a lot of money. You'll make more money just purely talking about the market than you would taking shots at me about the market. Hell, you should even just you should DM me, hey, Ian, give me 4 stocks and be like, look what Ian dumbass did. He gave me 4 stocks to invest in. I'm going to take you through a journey and see how it works. And if it works, now you have that money and the AdSense money. There's very little money in drama.
That's a
in my
good
opinion.
idea. Yeah.
So one of y'all DM me.
Je suis d'accord avec ce qu'il a dit à la fin parce que c'est la catégorie la mieux payée sur YouTube. Quand tu fais des trucs sur les investissements et tout. C'est-à-dire, t'as tout ça, les problèmes à moi. Je suis complètement d'accord avec ce qu'il a dit à la fin. Bon. J'ai regardé les 2-3 vidéos. Je pense que je vais couper. J'ai pas grand chose à raconter aujourd'hui. Il fait trop chaud là. On se dit à tout à l'heure.